My daughter got a notary to force me to sign over my $4 million home, but the notary was working for me. I never thought betrayal could come from my own blood. The day my daughter tried to take away the very roof over my head, the home I worked half a lifetime to build, I learned a painful truth. Sometimes, family can be more dangerous than strangers. It all started on a calm Tuesday morning. I was sitting in the garden of my $4 million home, sipping tea and listening to the birds sing. This house wasn't just bricks and walls, it held every memory of my late wife, every picture of my children, and every ounce of my sweat and sacrifice. It was supposed to be my safe place. But my daughter, Emily, had other plans. She arrived that morning with a stranger dressed in a crisp suit, carrying a heavy briefcase. "Dad," she said sweetly, "this is Mr. Johnson, a notary. We just need your signature on some documents for financial security. It's just a formality, nothing to worry about." Her smile was wide, but her eyes betrayed her, too calculating, too hungry. I may be old, but I'm not naive. Something felt wrong. I asked to read the papers, but Emily pressed my hand against the pen. "Dad, just trust me. It's for your own good. Trust." This was the same daughter I had raised alone after her mother passed, the same child I sacrificed everything for. And now, she wanted me to sign away the house. I looked at the notary. He gave me a subtle nod, almost too quick to notice. It was then I realized, Emily wasn't the only one with secrets. The truth was, weeks before, I had already suspected Emily's intentions. She had been pressuring me to downsize, suggesting I move into a retirement home while she handled the property. Her tone was rehearsed, her arguments too polished. Something told me she wasn't just concerned for me, she wanted control. So I quietly contacted a trusted friend of mine, Daniel, who happened to be a licensed notary himself. I asked him to play along, just in case Emily ever tried something. And here she was, walking right into the trap. As Emily shoved the papers in front of me, I finally spoke. "Emily," I said, my voice steady, "what exactly am I signing?" She stammered. It's just so I can help manage bills, Dad. Nothing big." But the truth was written clearly. It was a deed transfer, giving her full ownership of my $4 million home. I looked at Daniel, the notary. He cleared his throat and said, "Sir, before you sign, you should know this document transfers your property rights entirely to your daughter. Once you sign, the house will no longer belong to you." Emily's face drained of color. "What are you doing? That's not how you're supposed to say it," she hissed. Daniel raised an eyebrow. "My duty is to the truth, miss." I sat back in my chair, heart heavy. This was my daughter, my flesh and blood, trying to take everything from me. "Emily," I said quietly, "do you remember when your mother passed, and I promised her I'd always protect you? I worked day and night to make sure you had food, clothes, and an education. I sold my car to pay for your college tuition. I gave you everything I had. And now, you try to steal the only thing left of me." Tears welled in my eyes, but Emily's face hardened. "You don't understand," she snapped. "This house is wasted on you. You're old, you barely use half of it. With it in my name, I can finally sell it and build a life for myself. I deserve it." Her words cut deeper than any knife. Daniel stood up and closed the briefcase. "I think we're done here," he said firmly. But I wasn't. I turned to Emily. "If you needed help, all you had to do was ask. But instead, you chose betrayal. And betrayal has consequences." Her eyes flickered with panic. "What do you mean?" Daniel pulled out another document, this one real and legally binding. "Mr. Reynolds," he said to me, "here's the paperwork you asked me to prepare. The deed has been placed in a living trust under your name. No one, not even family, can force you to sign it away. Not without your consent." Emily gasped. You set me up." I nodded slowly. "No, Emily. I protected myself. Because I knew the daughter I raised was no longer the daughter standing before me today." She stormed out that day, slamming the door so hard it rattled the windows. I watched her car screech away, my chest aching with a mix of sorrow and relief. The following weeks were quiet. Painfully quiet. No calls. No visits. But I refused to chase after her. Love doesn't mean letting yourself be destroyed. Then one afternoon, there was a knock at the door. Emily stood there, her eyes red and swollen. "Dad," She whispered, "I'm sorry." Her apology wasn't immediate forgiveness, but it was a start. She admitted she'd been drowning in debt, pressured by her boyfriend, desperate for money. She thought stealing the house would solve everything. I told her the truth. Trust, once broken, is hard to rebuild. But I also told her she would always be my daughter, and if she truly wanted to fix things, she had to earn it. Not through lies, but through honesty and effort. In the end, I didn't lose my home. What I almost lost was my daughter. That $4 million house stands as more than property, it's a symbol. A symbol that you can give your children love, guidance, and every sacrifice in the world, but you cannot give them integrity. That, they must choose for themselves. And sometimes, protecting what you've built means standing up even to those you love most. Because family isn't about blood, it's about respect, loyalty, and truth.